This parsha is Vayetzei. Very interesting little story. When Begin became prime minister of Israel, made his first trip here to the United States, before he met with, it was in 1977, before he met with President Carter, he made a visit to somebody he thought far more important, the Lubavitcher Rebbe. He went to Crown Heights to visit the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe said, we have to learn the Parsha Vayetzei. What was going on? Because in Vayetzei, Yaakov is dealing with Lavan. He knew Esau hated him. That was clear. Lavan came up to him as if, oh, I want to help you. Lavan had no good intentions towards Yaakov. We know that. According to Rashi, when they met, he hugged him and he kissed him. It's all this. He hugged him because you remembered when Eliezer went to, up there, and he came with all these gifts. Yaakov showing up with nothing. So he hugged him. Maybe he's hiding his gifts on his body. Maybe he kissed him because maybe they're in his mouth. Lavan is not a good guy, but he puts on the act that he is a good guy. And he tricks Yaakov into marrying Leah. Everything he does, he's really against Yaakov, which makes him far worse than Esau. With Esau, you know where you stand. He wants to kill you. Fine. We know how to deal with that. What about the guy who comes up and says, oh, I don't hate Jews. In fact, I want to make the Jews better by doing these things. The Soviets in their day said they wanted to modernize the Jewish people. They created a new form of Yiddish, which they took out, by the way, all the Hebrew words in Yiddish. There are a few Hebrew words, and they turned them into Yiddish words. They were trying to destroy the Jewish people from within. This is something we have to be very careful about. Not the people who seemingly are our friends. Now, there are some people who say they are friends, and you can tell right away they're our friends because they do the things, they are really on our side when a push comes to shove. But on the other hand, you have those people, and some who will use some Jews to push their way. We had the experience last year when the administration was supposedly very pro-Israel, and they had Chuck Schumer get up there and say, I want Bibi to resign. Senator Schumer, you want to change in the Israeli government? Make aliyah and vote. We have these things called elections. You may have heard of them. But the point I'm making is that such people we really have to be careful of. We have to make sure that when we deal with them, remember they have power. They might have power over us. We have to deal with them in the correct manner. A very brief story. I knew the rabbi who was chief rabbi of Argentina when Juan Perón was the dictator. And he would go in to see Perón, and he would say what a great woman Evita was. He would praise Evita. Did he like Evita? No. He hated Evita. He hated everything that Juan Perón and Evita stood for. But he realized these are the people in charge. I have to make nice to them because my job is to protect the Jewish people. It's not to, and therefore he did those things. But that's something we have to deal with, and this is the parsha that we learn how to deal with it. Something to think.